many times have you streamed a friend's music video? What do you think about the messages of this music video? When I first watched it, I quickly concluded that the messages was about loving yourself. But after watching it a couple more times, I realized that there might be more to it. So what should we be paying attention to in this 4-minute video? Let's dive in and find out! Most modern music videos tend to minimize plot and focus on symbolism. Instead of complex storylines, they rely on symbols to convey messages. Therefore, analyzing the events of a music video literally can hide or understanding its deeper meaning. Let's interpret the events in the video as symbols. The male character, let's call him T, wakes up in an empty bed, does everything alone, and lives a relatively makeshift life, reflected in the interior and design of the house. The room looks cold and lifeless. Then he goes to the bus stop. When he gets on the bus, he realizes that he is surrounded by couples. His expression becomes slightly panicked as he witnesses them being affectionate. When he enters the store and sees couples expressing their love in an overly passionate way, he starts to feel extremely annoyed. Finally, a couple, distracted by their affection, hits him with their car and he dies. If the male character symbolized loneliness and the couple symbolized the excitement of love, then there is no accident here. It is the loneliness that kills him. That's why the flashbacks of the couple's love scenes appeared before he was hit by the car. I think the director put those flashbacks in there to emphasize that it was his loneliness and the passionate of love of the people around him that caused his death. The character's expression when facing death is one of indifference and boredom. Pay attention to the lighting in this scene. It is mainly yellow and black, which emphasize the darkness and coolness. Death is also a symbol. Death is more than just the end of a life. It also represents the end of a state, the state of being single. The character's death symbolizes his transition to a new state in a second awakening, the state of being in a relationship. In the second awakening, the bed sheets have turned pink, and a girl is in the room. The furniture in the living room has changed, with more plants and paintings around. The sunlight coming through the window is warmer, and the contrast in the scene is also higher. Let's call this male character is Taekook. He's now happier and more energetic. They both brush their teeth together and cook breakfast together. The warm and sunny atmosphere. Everything becomes warmer and happier when they live together. They go out together to the same place he used to go alone. They're at the same place, but the couples are arguing. Pay attention to this. If in the previous scene, the sweetness of the couples caught his attention, this time he seems to have ignored everything that is happening around him. In this situation, his interaction with his girlfriend lacks affections, as they both look out the window instead of engaging with each other. Couples are arguing everywhere they go, but they continue ignored. Let's continue to interpret the events as symbols. I think the arguing couples represent the conflicts that we often face in a romantic relationship. The character's perspective undergoes a significant transformation. Initially, he held the view that love was cheesy and ridiculous. However, when he falls in love, he realized that love can be full of conflicts, arguments, and heartbreak. But instead of facing and resolving these issues, he chose to ignore them. In the end, the unresolved conflicts of this couple intimately lead to his death. The flashbacks of the couple's arguing appear, emphasizing that it was not an accident. It was the unresolved issues in a romantic relationship that killed him. However, the character's reaction to his imminent death is different from his previous indifference. This time, he shows a sense of loss in his eyes. The character passes away with a smile on his face. Pay attention to the color tone of the scenes. In contrast to the earlier similar scenes, the main color tone in the scenes is pink, which conveys that even though the love story had a sad ending, the main character still believes in the beauty of love and is grateful for the experience it brings. In the third awakening, the character wakes up started on his bed once again, but this time he finds someone who looks exactly like him lying next to him. Some viewers have interpreted these scenes to mean that loving yourself is the best kind of love, while others suggest that a character may be attracted to a man who shares characteristics leading to a harmonious relationship. Some have even speculated that this MV could be a way for the character to come out. However, it's difficult to determine the relationship between these two characters. The connection is unclear, as they do not exhibit the same gestures and behaviors as a couple. It is hard to say whether their relationship is one of friendship or love. I will explain this with a concept called a looping narrative structure. This type of structure is used a lot in movies, the horror movie Triangle. The female character is trapped in an endless loop. She must overcome her own limitations and fears to break the loop and escape her predicament. The loop structure makes Triangle unique and captivating. It compels viewers to ponder the loop's meaning and its role in the story. Based on the loop structure, I believe this is the first version of T who died. If we call the one who died when he was single T, then the guy who died when he was in a relationship is T-Dote. T seems to have been there for a long time, waiting for T-Dote to appear. When T finally sees T-Dote, he only utters one word, "Yeah," as if to say, "What the hell are you deaf too?" T-Dote wakes up, looks at T, and then smiles. At that moment, T-Dote realized that this is a loop game. The loop structure suggests that T has gone through this loop many times. Each time he dies, he wakes up in the same room at the beginning. T's death in both cases can be seen as a symbol for the end of one loop and the beginning of a new one. In each loop, the outcome of the character's fate may or may not change, but he always learns something new, leading to a better emotional state. I think both Taehyung and the director like the idea of a loop structure. He also mentioned this in his Rainy Days music video. It's understandable that he would continue to use it in his Friends music video. The music video Friends is an emotional story about love, loss, and growth. It encourages us to be brave in pursuing love. Cherish what we have and love yourselves. Self-love is the foundation of any happy relationship. When you love yourself, you will be able to love others more fully. I really like the idea of this being a coming out music video, but I can't believe it was the director's intention. However, the music video can still be interpreted in a variety of ways, and it may be open to more progressive messages in the future. The music video could be about self-acceptance and overcoming internal struggles. It could also be a metaphor for the challenges of finding love and acceptance in society. And it's undeniable that many details in this music video remind me of Jungkook. Taehyung was wearing clothes similar to Jungkook's style. Taehyung's affectionate actions towards his girlfriend are also similar to the actions he does for Jungkook in real life. Taehyung always say that what he likes to do the most with his lover is to put arms around each other. And this is proof. That's all for today. What are your thoughts on this MV? Did you notice any other interesting details? Feel free to leave a comment below.